everyone, so today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video. It has been a while since I have reviewed any hair tool items, but some of my top most viewed videos are actually hair tool reviews, and this is one that I have seen for a while now, and I've kind of had it on my wish list for a while, and I finally just bit the bullet and purchased it, and I got this from Ulta. This is from Conair, and it's called the Unbound Beauty in Motion. It's a 2-in-1 styler. It is supposed to be able to flatten your hair or curl your hair, and the cool thing about it is a cordless heat styling tool. So I have been really intrigued by this. I think they have a couple different versions of this. They have the 2-in-1 version, and then they might have the flat iron only, and they might have only the curling iron. I can't remember off the top of my head. There is also a like mini curler that like sucks your hair into it and curls it. I don't know, that kind of scares me, and I don't know if I would try that, but there is that tool as well. But the regular price for this one is $99.99, but I saw an Ulta for $79.99, so not that big of a deal off, but I decided I wanted to test this out and see what I thought about it, because I thought it would be kind of a good choice for traveling or like a quick kind of touch-up type of thing. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to try it out for myself and do a video and let you guys know, is this worth $80? Because especially for a Conair product, that is very up there and out of their typical price range, but it is a very different type of product. But I'm a huge fan of Conair. Like, my favorite curling wand is from Conair. I've had that one for like over 10 years now, and it's still going strong, and I really love that one. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys my thoughts and opinions on this one and let you know whether you should save your money or if you should run out and get this. So when you open up the box, this is what it looks like. There is the styling tool as well as a charger for it to plug in, and there is also a heat safe bag to store it in while you're traveling. So it is charged by a micro USB charger, and it doesn't come with like the wall brick part that you would need to put into that actual like plug-in adapter, but I'm sure you've got a million of those laying around. So just know that it only comes with the USB to micro USB cable. Okay, so some of the features about this tool. So this is what it looks like. It is purple with kind of like a bronzy kind of chrome metal to it. So it is a titanium flat iron and then a titanium curved outer plates, and they are 1 inch in size. So this is what the tool looks like. It's very pretty, very sleek looking. It has a lock button here, so you can unlock that when you are using it to flat iron your hair, or if you are traveling or using the curling feature, then you can lock it like that so it stays together. So to turn it on, there are only 2 buttons on this tool, so you can't really see them too well from here, but they are right here on the inside curve of here. There is an on-off and mode button. That's all 1 button. That's how you turn it on, turn it off, and switch between straightening or curling your hair. So to turn it on, you just click and hold for a second and it will come on like this. And there is an LED indicator in here that will show you what mode you're on. The flat lines are of course the straight mode, and if you click it again, it will switch it to the wavy mode, which is for curling. So you just need to click to toggle between straighten or flat iron. And above that, there is a plus minus button, and that is the heat control. It starts at 280, then it goes up to 320, 360, and the highest is 400 degrees Fahrenheit. When you're done with it and you want to turn off, just click and hold, and it will turn off, and then you can lock it and store it. So when it does come, you do have to charge it right away the first time. I will do a little test, and I want to see from a completely dead curling iron or tool, how long does it take to get a full charge. I will have to insert a clip of that letting you know, or put it here, because I haven't tested that yet. That's definitely something I wanted to know is, number one, how long does it take to actually charge the full thing, and how long does it actually run for without it being plugged in. Now, one thing I did test so far, you cannot plug it in and have it charging while you're running it. At least to my knowledge, you can't. So if it is like about to be dead, or you are using it and it just died, you're gonna have to charge it, and you can't use it while you're charging it. It does say that it has a 25-minute cord-free runtime. So on a full charge, you're supposed to be able to use it for 25 minutes before it dies. I will also have to test that and see, is that true? Does it really last that long or not? For me, depending on what I'm doing, I feel like I can usually get my hair done in under 25 minutes, depending on whether I'm curling or straightening it, but it just really kind of depends on the tool itself. And it also says it has a 15-minute auto off to preserve battery. So if it doesn't sense that you're using it or moving it for 15 minutes, it will automatically turn off, which I think is a really nice safety feature. And one other thing that I wouldn't think to mention, but I did just read it and it does make sense, it does contain 2 lithium-ion batteries. So this is something that you would not be able to carry on a plane with you. So that's something to keep in mind because there may be some airline restrictions with that. This might be something you have to check in a luggage. Again, not something I would have really thought about, but I did see that listed in the specs. So overall, it's not very heavy in the hand. I would say this feels pretty much just like a typical flat iron or curling iron. It's not extremely heavy. I feel like it's not something that would get very tiring in your hand. If it was like a super bulky kind of heavy one, it definitely seems pretty standard for that. But it is a very interesting product to be able to curl or flat iron your hair all in one and on the go, which is definitely very new and innovative and different. So let's move to my bathroom and we will first try the straightening function of this tool. Okay, so welcome to my bathroom. I hope it's not too echoey in here and I hope the lighting is not too bad. But first we will try the straightening portion of this. So I've just gone through and brushed out my hair just so I don't have any kinks or anything giving me any troubles. So you can see my hair is not perfectly straight, but it's definitely not as curly as it typically is. So we're just going to kind of go with this and see how long it lasts. I will have a timer running to see how long it takes me to actually do my hair, if it takes longer or less time. The on button there, so it turns on and it is on the straight side. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna crank it up. Let's do 360 to start with and see if we need to go higher. So I'm gonna give that just a minute to heat up. Okay, so again, I don't have the curliest of hair right now, but you know, I do have some little kinks and, you know, little unstraight parts. So I'm just gonna start and I'm gonna glide it down over here and just see how this first pass goes. So I can feel my hair is definitely warm, but it doesn't feel extremely hot. So that's the first pass. I feel like that did an okay job. So I'm gonna take a little bit more here. I definitely feel like I need to go a little bit slower over my hair than I typically do. Usually when I'm straightening my hair, I'm just like going at it and, you know, kind of just doing whatever. I kind of do multiple passes a lot of the time over my hair. But I'm just going to straighten my hair, probably listen to super pin straight. No matter how many times I go over it, there's still like just a little bump. You can kind of see it sometimes more like in the shadow. You'll see like a little like kink or a little, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but especially in the back, I feel like you'll definitely be able to see that. Now, I'm never good at getting the back perfectly straight, and I never will be. And on a typical day, I'm not paying that much attention to the back of my hair. Like if I get it like halfway decent, that's good enough for me. So overall in the back, I feel like it's a little bit harder to get it like perfectly straight, but you can see it did a pretty decent job. Overall, I still see a little bit of parts that I would probably straighten out just a little bit more, but overall it did do the job. But I feel like it just doesn't feel as powerful as like a typical hair straightener, which makes sense because it's not, you know, plugged into the wall or anything, so it's not being able to draw as much power out of that as quickly because it's just relying on the battery and the charge. Another thing I wanted to test, I actually want to see, does this actually get up to 400 degrees? And yeah, let me go get my thermometer to test that. Okay, so this is my little infrared digital thermometer. I use this for soap making, but it's very handy to have. So I just want to test this. So I have it set to 400 degrees. I want to see, is this actually going to register at 400 degrees? Wow, so this is really interesting. Okay, I won't be able to show this, but I'm getting a few readings. I am aiming it directly at the center of the inner plate because I have the straightener on. So I'm getting 112, 113, 102, 115, 133, 145, 150, 160, 153, 147, 146, 138. It's kind of all over the place, but none of that reads at 400 degrees. I've always wondered, do actual curling iron tools actually get to 400 actual degrees? Like, does the surface of the iron actually get to 400 degrees? I don't know. I'm going to try closing it and clamping it, kind of holding in some of that heat. Okay, 120, 104, 120, 114, 109, 159, 167, 164, 155. It definitely seems like it's reading hotter at the front, like the tip, the top tip of the iron, but it's definitely not reaching 400 degrees. Now, I don't know. I'll have to just do a little bit more personal research on that one, but it definitely doesn't feel as hot as I would expect it to. 160-ish seems to be the highest it's reading in any particular spot on this plate. I don't know, kind of an interesting thing. Like I said, I don't know, do hot iron tools typically get to actually 400 degrees? Okay, so we're going on about 17 minutes now and it's still going. I'm just gonna keep working on it and seeing how long it lasts. The next thing I'm going to test is actually curling my hair. So I'm just going to switch modes real quick. And so now it has the wavy line. I'm gonna keep it at 400 degrees and I am now going to lock the barrel so I can use it as a curling iron. So this is how it looks with a straight. Overall, I feel like it definitely did straighten my hair. One thing I will have to test it on though is with my like actually naturally wavy curly hair, how it works on that, because like I said, my hair was pretty straight to begin with, so it wasn't that hard of a hurdle to clear with it straightening my hair. But overall, this is how it looks. I feel like it did a pretty decent job, and it took me about, what, 10-12 minutes to do. So now I want to test a little bit of the curling. Now, I don't think I'm going to do the entire head of curls. One thing I don't like about this is it's very short for curling your hair. It works pretty well with the flat iron side because it's very wide. It can get a good amount of hair in one stroke. But with curling, it's a little bit of a different story. So I'm going to just take a little bit of a strand here. Not too big, maybe about like a little 1 inch, you know, and I don't have super thick hair either, so it's not like my hair is super thick. But I'm going to kind of curl it and wrap it around the actual barrel. I'm gonna hold that for just a few seconds. Typically I like using a clipless wand curling iron, but this one's very short, and I know I do have it wrapped pretty close to the top, but even so, just doesn't feel that comfortable. So I'm gonna kind of let it sit just to kind of give it a fair shot and kind of let it cool in my hand, and I'm gonna let it go. So that did definitely a better curl than it was doing last night. Last night I was getting a lot more droopy, kind of sad waves, but I'm gonna kind of like swap sides for this one. And if I do my hair a little bit tighter, I can fit it all on the barrel, but it's definitely a little bit harder than what I'm used to. So I'm gonna hold that one for a few seconds. I'm gonna let this one go. Now I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not going to hold it or kind of help it at all. This one definitely came out a little bit more loose compared to that first one. Not a whole huge difference, but I think like definitely holding it and letting it cool a little bit like that really helped the curl look a little bit better. I was getting a lot more like this last night where it's a little bit more droopy. And overall, after doing my hair and curling the whole thing, it kind of ended up being a lot more like soft waves. Like if I just kind of like run my hand through this a little bit, you know, really quickly, you can see how much that curl fell out. And I typically don't have the best of luck when it comes to curling my hair with a traditional type of curling iron. It just does not seem to hold in my hair very well. Okay, so we are at about 23 minutes now with the curling iron still going. I'm just kind of straightening out that little curly bit and seeing what it does. It's still going, has not cut off yet. Okay, quick update. We just hit 24 minutes right now, and I'm starting to get this little flashing battery indicator here that it's low on battery, so we will see just how long this lasts. I'm just gonna keep using it like I am for not even, my cat is right here. Poe, what the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, wow, so it just died literally at 25-minute mark. Like you can't get closer than that. It literally died at the 25-minute mark. So I would say that their 25-minute runtime claim is very, very accurate. So yeah, I give them a point for that then, I guess. Okay, so we are back with the second try for the curling function. Now I've kind of already mentioned a little bit of my thoughts about how typical traditional curling irons don't work that great for me, but I did want to demo this product and at least show you what it does on my hair. We have now confirmed that the device does in fact only last 25 minutes. We will see, will I even be able to get my hair completely done in that amount of time? But yeah, we're just gonna test that out and I will share with you guys how the curling portion of it works. So this is how my hair looks before. Again, I had straightened it yesterday and then slept on it. So I did not completely finish my hair. The battery of this has died. Let me just double check. No, it just turned off. Okay, so let me see if it still has... Huh, that was weird. Okay, so it's came back on, but it had turned off. I don't know if it's just like got a couple seconds left. I'm gonna keep trying and seeing, but so far this is how I got progress wise. I don't know why it turned off. It does have a 15-minute turn off auto feature if it detects like you're not using it, but I was clearly using it, so I'm not quite sure why that turned off. And I can't access the button while it's curling because it's locked and it's on the inside, so there's no way I accidentally turned it off. So I'm not sure what that was about, but I'm gonna try to consider a fair amount of doneness. I'm just going to take a little bit of extra time, just kind of touch up some last minute pieces because I can tell this is probably going to die in just a few minutes, but I do have to say I did have to work pretty quickly to get all of my hair curled and adequate, and, you know, not just like really rushing or really just like, you know, cutting corners or anything. So I definitely feel like I was able to get all of my hair, you know, curled to a satisfactory amount. You know, I'd probably take a little bit more time if I didn't feel the rush of styling my hair with this type of product, since it does only last for 25 minutes. So I did feel a little bit more of a rush to do my hair, but I didn't feel like I was going so fast to where I really, you know, wasn't being very careful or getting it to look super neat or anything like that. But I definitely did notice I had to work pretty quickly. I still feel like this side needs a little bit more attention, so I'm going to try to do some of that and focus a little bit more kind of on these like top portions of the curl where it's not curling nearly as much. And that could also be because it's near the bottom of the barrel here. And I've noticed yesterday when I was doing that little heat test, it seemed that the bottom of the barrel tended to be a lot cooler in temperature compared to the middle and the top portion of the barrel. So that could be another reason why. Okay, so overall, this is pretty much what I would call the final look for the hair as far as how I was able to curl it. Overall, I feel like it looks okay. I do have to say, if you have long hair, longer than mine, this tool is probably not going to be the best for you curling wise, because this is such a short barrel, like I mentioned before. I feel like I don't even have particularly long hair, and I can't really comfortably get all of my hair on there to curl it. I can definitely get it done and I can make it work, but it's just not comfortable. And a couple times my hair will get a little bit caught just for a few seconds, and I kind of have to, like, you know, maneuver the tool just to kind of get it off there, which is a little scary at moments. But overall, okay, this is how my curled hair looks. Now, don't judge the back. I'm not very great at doing the back of my hair, so we're just gonna kind of, you know, let this be. Cut me some slack on the back of my hair, please. So overall, yes, I was able to curl my hair with this. This is not typically my favorite types of curls. I guarantee you, in like 20 minutes, this is all gonna fall out. And of course I could use hairspray, but I'm comparing it to my other favorite curling iron, which I have right here. This is the one that I have that I really, really love from Conair. This one was like 20 bucks. It's the orange one. It goes up to 400 degrees as well, just to compare the size of it. So size-wise, it's definitely, this one is a lot thicker. This one is like a 1 inch. This one I would say probably starts at about like a 3/4 inch and tapers all the way down to a very small point. So it's a lot smaller diameter wise, but it's also quite a bit longer. I would say it's probably about 4 inches longer than this one. So I can fit my hair on here so much easier. So overall, the look that it gave me, definitely a lot larger curls, more bouncy, and something that for at least my hair type, it's definitely going to loosen up to more like waves and soft kind of bouncy waves like that, which is pretty, and I like that as well. But I kind of like a little bit more of like curls and stuff like that. That's just kind of more my style of how I like to wear my hair. But this is definitely pretty, and I wouldn't feel like, oh, you know, my hair looks weird or looks different or anything like that. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. I don't know how much you'll be able to see a difference. I think I definitely see more of a difference on this side. Definitely looks a lot more relaxed and waved. This side still has like a little bit of like a couple curls here, so there were a couple pieces that did curl a little bit better. But overall, these types of curls for me do not last at all, so they're just gonna end up like waves. So I'm just gonna like kind of lightly brush it out really quick, because this is just how I would wear my hair. Pretty much it just kind of turns into like these waves. Pretty much this is kind of like how my hair ended up looking with the curling iron. Like I said, it's just not my favorite type of curling iron, and overall that's pretty much all I have to say about it. But I did want to include this in here just so you could see both functions of the styling tool with the straightening side and the curling side, and letting you guys see how it worked for my hair. Overall, I do give it points for versatility because it is one tool that you can straighten or curl your hair with. Now, I don't think either one does it great, but you got to be realistic about it, and there's going to be some trade-offs with it being a cordless thing. So I feel like this being cordless, it's really the only convenience of it is that you can do it anywhere, versus like you can take it with you and not have to like you know, have to have a power outlet right next to you to do your hair. I would be really interested in seeing, you know, does the flat iron, that is just the flat iron, does it do better just doing one thing? Is that kind of like it's trying to do too much at being a curling iron and a flat iron, whereas maybe the ones that are separate tools, like would those do better on their own? I don't know. That would be something interesting to try, but I don't think I would be the one to try them, to be honest. So for me, at the end of the day, I feel like this is just a tool that is kind of interesting to have, but for me the $80 price tag is still just too high for this to be like a touch-up kind of tool. It is convenient because you can just do your hair on the go and stuff like that, but I don't know, I just can't see myself getting $80 worth of use out of this regularly enough for it to be worth that for me. So overall, yes, it did flat iron my hair, and yes, it did curl my hair, but overall for me, I just feel like this is a little bit too expensive for a touch-up tool for me. Like if this just did great on its own and like really like powerhouse straighten my hair and it was cordless, that would be amazing. That would be perfect. And then of course you can't use it while it is plugged in charging, so that kind of like knocks it down a point for me in that way, because if I wanted to like just plug it in and use it, I couldn't. So yeah, that is pretty much my thoughts on this tool overall. Would I recommend it or not? I think it really just depends on you and your hair type. If you have shorter, finer, straighter hair and you want something on the go that you can just use to touch up, this is your tool. If you are looking for like an everyday, like your main go-to hairstyling tool, I don't think this is the one, especially if you have long hair, if you have thick hair, if you have coarse hair, if you have wavy, curly hair. I really just don't see this being the product for you, and I would definitely not recommend this one. Again, unless it's purely just like a touch up on the go, I'm only going to use this in short increments, not very long, then I could see it being worth it for someone, but for me, $80 is too much for a touch-up tool. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below. Till my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.